Hey guys, it's Dom, I'm back, and I wanted to talk to you about the Huawei event that just happened this past Monday. So, Huawei went to Barcelona, obviously, for MWC. MWC was sadly cancelled due to the COVID-19 fears, I guess. But that didn't stop Huawei from putting on their announcement, hands-on demo, and everything else. They had satellite events in London and I believe in China as well. But there they did show off the Mate XS, the kind of Gen 1.5. I don't really want to say like Gen 2 of their folding phone. It is just a more optimized version of the Mate X. They also showed off the MatePad Pro 5G, which is a tablet. It's a It's a very iPad-inspired tablet, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. They also showed off some new laptops and some more 5G stuff. Next up, we have the Huawei MatePad Pro 5G. Now, obviously, this is different from their media pads, which are cheaper tablets, mostly focused at content consumption, but this is one for the creators as well. The MatePad Pro 5G is kind of a unicorn. It is a high-end Android tablet with high-end specs and peripherals to match, and it's going for a proper price. It's going for around just under 600 euros. What do you get for your 600 euros? You get a 10-inch OLED display, 2560 by 1600, with a punch hole camera in the top corner, depending on which way you hold it. You get the Kirin 990 5G, obviously it is a 5G mobile enabled tablet. You get 6 or 8 gigs of RAM, you get I believe 128 to 512 gigs of storage. And you get Android 10, same as the Mate XS. Now what are the different things though? Well, this is where the iPad comparison comes in, because you get the Huawei M Pencil. What is the M Pencil? Well, it's the metallic version of the Apple Pencil. It also magnetically latches onto the side of the tablet. It also magnetically syncs with the tablet. It also pops up a little thing on screen that says you're connected to the tablet. Yeah, the inspiration's getting real deep here, guys. Well, there's also a keyboard case that doesn't have a trackpad like the iPad Smart case and is missing a load of function buttons. And wow, they really took a lot of inspiration from this. Well, that doesn't change the fact that the keyboard is actually really quite nice to type on, even on such a narrow device. It's missing things like a back button, a home button, anything like that, so you have to navigate it with all the gestures. There are no keyboard shortcuts you can really do. But the case does give you two angles, I believe 60 and 75 degrees, or 60 and 70 degrees. And it's small enough that it can actually be used on a plane, on the tray, without like killing the hinge or like being at a weird angle. It actually looks quite usable. Now the design is where Huawei is really going in on these things. So there are two backs. There is a white and black, or there's two colours of each one. On the fiberglass material, there is a black one and a white one, and it almost looks like Prada's Saffiano leather. It is a really nice pattern, quite different. It feels really nice in the hand. The other one is Huawei's vegan leather that they debuted on the Mate 30 Pro. So they have the orange and the dark green, and oh my god, that orange vegan leather is so good, and it was really nice to hold. I want it on everything. I don't care how obnoxious it is. It was just really, really nice. And again, this is a high-end Android tablet. This is a unicorn of sorts. The problem with both of these devices, though, is that they have no Google. Yep, the United States still has Huawei on an entity list, which is basically US companies not allowed to work with Huawei unless they get specific permission from the US government. And one company that has not been allowed to work with Huawei so far is a really important one. You may have heard of it. It's called Google. So Android itself is open source. Anyone can download Android and run it on anything they want. But there are closed source parts of Android. There are things within Android that need to be licensed from companies, like Google Play services or Google mobile services. You may not think about this. It's not just the App Store. It's not just YouTube. There is a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Have you ever wondered how all your apps know which GPS API to use, or how the apps are sending you notifications? That's all done through the Google mobile services. So that's why even if you download Chrome, for instance, it may not even work. It may turn on, but you can't log into anything. It may not allow you to watch video because it can't read the DRM decoder. There is a lot of interlocking stuff here. Huawei is doing its best with HMS Core, or Huawei Mobile Services, to replicate as many of these as possible and getting as many developers on board as they can. And they're doing a fantastic job. But it's really hard to tell people paying €2,500 for a phone that they can't get Facebook in the App Store, they can't get Twitter in the App Store, they can't get WhatsApp in the App Store, or Instagram, or to watch YouTube, they have to watch it in this weird third-party app or watch it on the web browser. People expect these apps, and I wish Huawei the best. This is a stunning phone, and everyone should be allowed to try it out, because this is technology at its peak. It is cool, it is weird, it is amazing, and everyone should try it out. Huawei is struggling because of the entity list, and Google is struggling because of the entity list. Google is not being allowed to license its software to the second largest smartphone maker in the world. The largest smartphone maker in the world is Samsung, followed by Huawei. Who's in third place? Apple. There is no one even close to Samsung in the Android game without Huawei. Google doesn't want that. Google wants more players, and not being able to sell to their second biggest customer is just brutal. Anyway guys, I hope you liked my thoughts on the Huawei event, the Mate XS and the MatePad Pro 5G. I'll be here for a long time. I've been Dom. You can get me at mobile_Dom, and you can find the site at MTTFeed. I'll see you soon.